Hello and welcome to my video today. I just received this box in from Electrified Ocean. It's a new product that is for the Fisker Ocean. These are storage bins for under the front seats. They come in locking and non-locking versions. So I'm going to be opening them up and checking them out. Let's get started. Very heavy. Each of these come in a separate box, so I'm going to take them out. This one is without the lock and this one is with the lock. Let me open the one without the lock first. On top we have some paperwork here. This one says Electrified Ocean EVault installation. Thanking you for purchasing. We have a QR code here. We have the hardware included and tools and batteries required down here. We have the installation steps right here. Full color photos and that. So yeah, very detailed steps on the installation right on the top of the box. We have a bag here that has some tools inside and hardware. Let me open that up. Okay, so we got a stubby Phillips head screwdriver. We have some plastic inserts and screws. And then some various screws in here also. So these are going to be used in the installation process. Let's pull this out. We have some protective styrofoam here. And then we have, looks like a piece right here for mounting. Let's move that aside. We have two more mounts right here. And then we have the storage bin itself. I'll give you a closer look. We have a metal finish, kind of a matte speckled finish. Here's the top, the back, the right side, the left side, and then you pull out the drawer. Inside there is a liner, which is kind of a microfiber cloth. I'm going to show you the look of that. So the nice thing about that is if you insert some items for storage in here, if they roll around, they're not going to make much noise, or the actual surface of this will keep things from rolling around. So this is pretty simple. It just closes in place. There's no locking mechanism on this one. So that's about it for the initial look at the unlocking bin. So I'm going to put that aside and I'll be installing this under the passenger seat of my Fisker Ocean 1. Let's take a look at the other box. Just like the first one, we have the instruction sheet here and all the steps that are needed for installing this in the vehicle. We have a bag here with some additional items. Let's see. As we saw before, a stubby Phillips head screwdriver. Those inserts and screws. Got some more screws in here. And in addition, we have the instructions for using the lock. We have 2 keys. And the main way of accessing this locked enclosure is using a fingerprint scanner. So you'll have these keys as a backup, or if you really like to use keys, they're there for you. So on top, we have the styrofoam. We have that metal bracket that we saw in the other one. We have the 2 smaller brackets. Take this off, and here is the enclosure itself. You can see the locking mechanism right here in the front. We have a little bit of plastic protecting the sensor for opening it, and we have the lock dial right here. And then we have the handle, and we have the drawer. It looks pretty much the same as the other unit. We have the left side, the right side, underneath, and the rear. So, let me put these 2 side by side so you can see the difference. Yep, pretty much identical. The same handle. We have the door. The only difference is there's a locking mechanism on this unit. Yeah, that's about it. So let's get these installed in the car and we'll check them out. Here are the tools that you're going to be using for the project today. A socket wrench with a Torx 12mm socket on it, or if you don't have one of those, a standard 3/8" socket will also work. A long Phillips head screwdriver, a short Phillips head screwdriver. This is the one that comes in the kit. A Torx T30 bit on a screwdriver, such as this one. This is going to be for the 1 or Extreme that have the standard box that you'll be needing to remove. If you have an Ultra or Sport, you're not going to need this tool. Next is a diagonal cutting pliers. This is also for removing the box on the Extreme and 1. You're not going to need this for the Ultra or Sport. An optional item, something I don't have right here, but I'll post on the screen right now, is Loctite for the seat bolts for attaching the seat to the chassis. And finally, 2 AAA batteries for the locking EVault. If you have the unlocked version, you don't need the batteries. And that's about it as far as the items go for this project. I'm going to install the non-locking box under the passenger seat. So I'm on the right side of the car, going to open up the door. The first thing we need to do is on the seat, use the controls and move the seat all the way back as far as it can go. Then that will expose the bolts that we need to remove. So taking the ratchet with either the 12mm Torx or the 3/8" bit, what we want to do is remove these 2 bolts. So I am going to start that right now. Here is the first one. I'm going to put this aside. Same with this one, we'll place this aside. One thing, if you have a 1 or Extreme, there will be a box here. I have already removed this box, so this is kind of like the instructions you would need if you have an Ultra or a Sport. So no box to remove under here. Now use the seat controls and move the seat all the way to its most forward position. Now we're going to open the rear doors and access the 2 bolts that are on the rails on the back of the seat. And now we're in the rear seat. Here are the 2 bolt locations. Take this one out and place it in a safe location. And the same with this one. Now using the back seat control, adjust it so the back of the seat is in its most upright position. Now I can lift the seat up and face it so that the back of this is leaning towards the rear seat so that we have access under here. So I'm going to show you how that works right now. Now you should be able to reach under here to do the next steps. This is what the under seat area looks like if you have the bin, if you have the Extreme or 1. You would use the T30 screwdriver and remove the 2 bolts that are on either side, and then this becomes loose. Then when you fold it down at the back, there are these fabric straps. I was able to just pull these out from the fasteners, and then we just remove this out of the way. Now, if you have a Ultra or Sport, you're not going to have anything there. You're going to have an opening here and on this side. And what you're going to be using are these little plastic retainer pieces. You're going to insert these into those openings. And then we are going to put a support bar, and we're going to use the screws that come with that inside that bag, and those are going to be inserted into these pieces here. So you're going to have 1 screw here and 1 screw over here. Since I have a 1, I'm not going to need to use this. I'm going to be using the original T30 screw that came with the seat. So let me get the support bar and show you how that installs. Here is the support bar or mounting bracket, and where we're going to install this is right in this area here. We're going to have it so that you see it with this angle. You can see the support right here. And I'm going to install it in this direction, and it's going to be going in this position right here. So what I'm going to do is insert that T30 screw into that opening. I'm going to hand thread it in there at first, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. So I'm going to adjust this so you can see it better. And then just screw the T30 all the way in. And do the same thing for the other side. So this is a close-up of the mounting bracket installed. Just make sure that these 2 screws that you install are snugly tightened so that the bar doesn't move. So that is what it looks like. And it goes across the whole seat bottom. For the next part, take your short Phillips head screwdriver and grab 2 of the small screws that are in the bag. Have those ready. Now take the box and make sure that the drawer is facing the right direction. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert it into that bracket. So we're going to slowly put it in. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for the matching holes that are on the bracket and the box underneath. Let me make sure I have it aligned. And then do the same with the other side. All right, so I need to align the opening so I see the hole right there. Insert the screw and turn it. All right, so we have both of the screws attached. Okay, I had to move the camera to get a better view of this area. This is towards the back of the seat, and that's towards the front of the seat. The 2 screws that I just put on the bracket are here and here. Now I have the last 2 brackets that I'm going to install. We're going to put these so that the horizontal opening versus the vertical opening goes on the actual box itself. So this is roughly where they're going to be going. So we're going to put 2 screws in here and then 2 screws on the bottom. Now, one thing I want to let you know is if you have a Ultra or Sport, there are going to be holes right here that you don't need to do anything. You can get the screws in there, no problem. However, for the one in Extreme, there are 2 of these plastic clips that are in the holes. We need to remove those, and we're going to be using the diagonal pliers to cut them out. Unfortunately, they do not pop out from the rear, and the only way to get access to the holes is to actually cut them out. So we'll try it from the back, like that, and then I'm going to squeeze on the pliers. All right, so by cutting the back of it with the pliers, the front will pop out then. Now I need to do the same thing with the other side. Just be very careful because there's wires here. You don't want to nick any of them. So I'm also going to put the pliers in here and then try to cut the back part of that retaining clip, and does it. All right, there we go. I popped out both of those clips. Now I got to carefully remove the pliers. So now you can see this one is open and this one is now open. Going to take the short Phillips head screwdriver with the screw on it. I'm going to put the bracket here, like I mentioned, with the horizontal section. I'm going to just lightly screw this in so I have the ability to move this around. And then adjust it so that this goes exactly over that opening. Then you can take the longer screwdriver, put the self-tapping screw on the end of it, and then push it through that opening, and then start screwing it in. May want to hold it down. There we go. Keep screwing it in. All right, So you do that till it's snug, and now tighten this screw here until it is also snug. And it's okay that this isn't parallel with the box. It can be offset like this as long as you have it centered over both of these holes. Then take the other bracket with the screw in the opening and then put that over the hole. And I've got to center it. Don't do it too tight yet, just loose enough so that we can position it so that the bottom will also be over the opening. Now I'll take the self-tapping screw with the longer screwdriver, and I'm going to insert it into that opening. Sorry, I'm blocking it, but this is a very tight space. Slowly turn the self-tapping screw, and it will work its way through that hole. All right, it is now snug. And if you notice, the box now is pretty solidly installed in this area under the seat. Here's a view of the front of the seat. And then as we go down, those initial 2 screws that I installed for the main bracket. And then we have the 2 rear brackets installed. Before we do the final tightening of the screws, make sure that the box is level across the front of the seats. You can usually tell by the handle if the handle is angled too far in or too far out. Just loosen these screws right here or here, and then adjust the position that you need it to be in, and then tighten them down. When everything is looking good, tighten all of the screws. Now that we got the box installed, we can reposition the seat back down again, line up all 4 of the bolt holes to the chassis below it. Then we'll insert the bolts and tighten them down snugly. When the seats are finally bolted down, let's test the door itself. Here's the handle. All you need to do is press in on the handle, and then it releases. You can pull it out to the full extent like this. And then when you're done using it, you press it in, and then do the same thing. You do 1 press, and it snaps into place, and it stays shut. So I finished the passenger side installing the EVault, the non-locking version. I'm now going to install the locking version on the driver's side. One thing that's going to be different is that I still have the original storage bin installed under the seat, since this is a Fisker Ocean 1. So I'm going to show that in detail, but the rest of it I'm going to speed up since it's the same process as on the passenger side. So I figured I don't need to go into all that much detail. You've already seen it. So let's get started with the driver's side. So as you can see, the underneath of the seat has the original storage bin that comes with the Extreme and 1 trims. I need to remove the 2 T30 screws that hold it in place, and then there's 2 additional fabric straps in the back that I need to pull off. So here's a close-up of that T30. And there it is. Don't lose those, since you'll need both of those T30s for the new EVault. And here's the second T30. Now I can lower the bin, and you can see that there are these 2 straps right here that hold it in place. See, they just snap right off like that. And then you can put this away. And the rest of the instructions are going to be the same as I did for the other seat. Well, now I have the driver's seat installed. So we have both of the EVaults, the non-locking for the passenger and the locking for the driver's seat. You can mix and match these if you want to purchase one or two, or having both of them locked or both unlocked. It's your choice. Just to give you an example, this is what I stored in my old under seat bin. Let's see how much of this fits in the new EVault. So as you can see, I have even more room than I had in my old storage bin. Probably about twice as much space if you consider that I don't have this part of the storage bin taking up space. So yeah, so if I put my car registration in here along with some other things I'd like to normally keep in a glove box, this is the perfect glove box replacement. And best of all, it is locking. So if you do happen to leave your car with the windows down, this can be locked and all of your valuables are safe. So just press it in and there it goes. And that's about it for unboxing and installation of the EVault. On the driver's side, I installed the locking version. Just press on the handle to open it up. Then when you want it locked, you just turn the knob right here and then use your fingerprint to open it. If you're interested in purchasing either the locking or non-locking versions, please see the link in the video description. And now I'm on the passenger side and with the non-locking version. Here we go. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I think this is a great addition to the Fisker Ocean, especially for those sport and ultra owners that do not have any storage bins underneath. And considering that the Ocean does not have a glove box like most cars do, these are the perfect substitutes and give you plenty of space for the driver's side and passenger side, and with the ability to lock, it gives you peace of mind. That's about it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.